Hi, welcome to Organico, a live stream event. I am your host for tonight, Marco Napolitano. Tonight's show is crowdfunded with the help of the audience. As of today, December 19, 2024, we have only hit around 60% of our target goal. In order to ensure that all partaking artists are fairly compensated for their work, please consider contributing to our campaign by heading to the GoFundMe link that you will find in the video description. Your support is greatly appreciated. Organico is a safe space for people of all backgrounds, genders, and ethnicities. Racism, homophobia, transphobia, or anything of the likes have no place here and will not be tolerated under any circumstances. Our artists work hard to deliver high-quality entertainment for their audiences. The least we could do to show appreciation would be to respect them and their efforts. Therefore, any derogatory or deliberately offensive comments will promptly be removed from our live chat. You have been warned. Tonight's event will feature some explicit language, as well as some sensitive images and mentions of topics such as domestic abuse, violence, sexual themes, and so on. Viewers' discretion is advised. Additionally, some of tonight's performances will contain mild to strong flashing lights. A trigger warning will be issued before these performances are streamed. The show will begin shortly. Please make sure you have a stable internet connection and that you're wearing headphones or using good speakers to enjoy the music to the fullest. Wherever you're watching from, thank you for being a part of this project.
Like waking up in a dream. The world is strange. If it's the future I see, I think I lost my way. And something tells me that you feel the same. Let's hit the highway tonight, driving to horizon shades. We dream tonight in neon lines, and I feel alive, and with all the colors restored, so bright they bleed. We can't help longing for more. We were born too late, it seems. We dream tonight in neon lights, and I feel alive, and I'm with you. Neon lines stretching out before us, outlining every part, you and me, and every shape on the horizon, bleeding out into the night sky, guiding us home. Like waking up in a dream, we found a place. We dream tonight, the neon lights being bright stretching out before us, outlining every part of you and me, and every shape on the horizon, bleeding out into the night sky, guiding us home. We dream tonight.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me fine. Just fine. I hope so. Thank you for tuning in, first of all. I'm pretty sure that those of you who are watching right now know who I am, but just in case any of you don't, I'll introduce myself. My name is Marco Napolitano, aka Neapolitan. And thank you, Florence. I just saw your comment about the shirt. Very thematically appropriate, I might add, considering the cassette tape has been the identity for Organico for a year now, which is something that I was going to get to in a bit, but I'll say it anyway. Organico turns 1 year old today. So that's why I chose to do this stream, run this stream today. And before I do anything else, please let me introduce you to my very talented co-host, Patrick, aka Patch Twaddle. Welcome, Patrick.
Hi, Marco. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. Very nervous.
Well, you've done a lot of work. This is amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's the thing is, I'm not an expert at any of the things I'm trying to do tonight. I'm attempting. This is an attempt. So I hope that all goes well. I just finished editing the content like minutes before the show. Well, I was exporting the stuff. The edit was basically done. I had a format ready, so you will see for the rest of the show. So what can you tell us about yourself, Patrick?
Yes, well, I'm coming to you from the northern part of Turtle Island, what is known as Canada, from the city of Toronto, traditional territory of many Indigenous peoples, the Haudenosaunee, the Wendat, the Anishinaabe, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. But I come from a very diverse global city known as Toronto. I've been here for a number of years, but I've worked also off and on in the UK. I come really originally as a performer and a musicologist, but I switched over to the business side several years ago. And so now I have my own company managing, marketing, doing label services and bookings for artists. And I also teach at university as well here in Toronto.
That's fantastic. You do so many things. It's great to have you here, first of all, and it's great to have you as my co-host tonight. Funnily enough, we do, like, for the people at home watching, we do share a background in musicology, because that's what I'm graduating in hopefully next year. I'm taking forever, but yeah, we'll get there. Taking a look at our timetable now. Actually, I had prepared a little bit of an overlay, but I completely forgot to turn it on. So let me see if it works. Yes, it does work. Perfect. Okay, so this is Organico, a live stream event. And for those of you who don't know, this is a crowdfunded event. Those of you just tuning in. And the show will be run primarily in English. There will be a few bits in Italian, just because I know that there are people from Italy watching, and I know that not all of them speak English. So I will say a few words in Italian. Ciao a tutti, buonasera. Come vedete siamo già nel pieno dello spettacolo. La trasmissione sarà condotta in lingua inglese, quindi faccio insomma questa piccola introduzione di cortesia per spiegare coloro che si sono collegati, che sono online al momento, che la trasmissione verrà condotta in inglese. Purtroppo ci saranno i sottotitoli in inglese per buona parte dei video, e ci saranno un paio di artisti italiani, per cui avrete la possibilità di ascoltare anche almeno un paio di interviste in italiano e una canzone in italiano, perché l'altro artista si esibisce più che altro, canta più che altro in inglese e in altre lingue. So switching back to English, and I see a few people showing up. Hi, everyone. I would say we can move on to the next artist now, whom I met last year while on a trip to the US, and her name is Julia Logan. You will see like a short interview with her. That's the format of the show. We have a few Q&As with artists, and Julia Logan has shared with us a performance that has already been released, but she did a Q&A exclusively with us tonight. So without further ado, Julia Logan and her folk tunes from just outside of Stockholm. Enjoy.
Hi everybody, my name is Julia Logan, and I'm a Swedish and American artist and singer-songwriter, and I've released 2 albums so far and just released my second album, Far Away Nearby, a bit over a month ago. So I started out by singing in the choir in my local church just down the road from where I grew up in a small village outside of Stockholm. I always loved singing, and then I kind of took some piano lessons. And then when I was 11, I moved to California, where my mom was from, and we lived there for a few years. And then I sort of started taking guitar lessons from this local guitar shop, and that's when I sort of really got into music and started writing from there. But I never went to a music school like a lot of my other musician friends. But yeah, I just took guitar lessons. I was in choirs a lot and started writing a lot of songs just in my room with my guitar and voice. So my first contact with the music industry was through my producer and co-writer, Daniel. He's 20 years older than me, so it was a really good way to sort of get introduced to a lot of people since he had been in the music industry for longer than I had. And then I started, working on my first album and started working with my previous record label, and through that process on a lot of meetings with different record companies and PR companies, and there's so many different parts to the music industry. It's also a very ever-changing industry, so you think you've sort of wrapped your head around it and then it kind of changes. And I also released my first album during the pandemic, which also was just a strange time. People couldn't play live, so they had to find other ways to promote their music, and I think the music industry is going through something right now as well, that more and more artists and songwriters are speaking up about how, streaming platforms like Spotify are not paying enough to artists. I think it's like $0.003 per stream, which obviously is not enough, and touring costs a lot of money and prices are going up. So I think there's just a lot of work to do to make it more fair for everybody in the music industry. But yeah, it's cool that artists like Kate Nash are sort of speaking up, and hopefully we can make it better. My first album was, a lot of the songs had been written like a long time ago, because that's always, the first album, kind of, you collect songs over like 10 years and then you release your first album. The second album was more songs written between that time period. I also had like a few older songs from before, and then me and Daniel also wrote some of the songs together. I just felt like, okay, it's time to start writing the second album. So I would spend time in the studio whenever I had the chance. So it's almost like I kind of recorded the first half of the album first and then the second half last spring. And then we sort of contacted labels and then got in touch with Demont, and it felt like a really, really good fit. And yeah, I'm just really happy that it's out now. Sit down, got you on the way. Mirrors and Mood Swings I wrote with my producer and co-writer Daniel. So Mood Swings kind of explores themes of loss and hope and personal grief. It was written during the pandemic, which was a time of collective loss but also personal loss. So that song means a lot to both of us, and it kind of has like this sort of like Nick Drake inspiration with like the acoustic guitars, but then we're also inspired by sort of Italian 70s music with the old like synth solo at one part of the song. And yeah, it's kind of continues the same like theme as Mirrors. And Mirrors kind of came about when I was just going to go on a 1-month-long trip, and Daniel was playing the sort of piano melody of the song on this old like 80s synth, and then we had this sort of drum machine on because we felt like we really wanted to write like a more upbeat, kind of up-tempo song, which we hadn't really before. Kind of came up right before I was gonna leave the studio, which happens sometimes, and the melody of like the verse and like some kind of words came about in like a flow of consciousness way, and then like parts of the chorus, even the melody even came then as well. And yeah, it was kind of like an aha moment because we didn't really have many upbeat songs. And I think it really opened us up to like a sonic landscape that we hadn't really explored before. But yeah, it's interesting because even though it's like an upbeat, up-tempo song, it also has like sadness in it. I really like to write happy, sad songs. Yeah, so the song kind of deals with life's frustrations and like feeling stuck and finding the light in the darkness, The same thing with like the happy, sad song theme is kind of like a running thread throughout the album. And if I don't like the ending, I'll make something else up just for fun. I'm running through spaces and faces already known. I gotta make it, my heart in front of me open. I just wanna let go if you've got me. I just finished opening up for another great Swedish artist. Her name is Amanda Bergman, which was a really fun experience. And now I'm working on releasing 2 acoustic versions of Mood Swings, actually, and Mirrors, which I'm going to release sometime next year. So that's exciting. And then I'm also going to be releasing another single from the album. It's already available on the vinyl, but it's going to be released in at the end of January. Then I'm going to continue writing new songs for the next record and hopefully go on tour soon.
Settle down, caught you on the way to feeding town. Couldn't call you by your name. Saw you falling to the ground. Later on, the writing's on the wall again. Are gone. Heard you calling this time around. Silence over soul when the stillness overflows out into nothing. It's a lonely hunter in an empty space. When the moon swings calling the ground, in the sunlit windows I wait for you like a Jew scared I'll be gone. Moody blue constellations coming soon. Come be mine in the valley without a sound. Silence over soul when the whole world is blinded by the sun. 'Cause the heart's a lonely hunter
And we're back. So that was Julia Logan with Mood Swings, and a lovely acoustic version that is available on our YouTube channel. So this is a reminder, like I will probably mention this at various stages of the show, but if you like the music, please consider going on the artist's social media and give them a follow, maybe on Spotify as well, a few other platforms. These things help a lot. I mean, Julia brought up something about streaming services that I have been. I mean, we all know basically what the state of the music industry is right now. It's very complicated to sum up like in a few minutes, but I mean, Patch, what do you think about what she said? About the streaming situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough especially for independent artists and DIY artists, and because it's really based on volume. And, we know that the DSPs are really pushing the big guys and, the big labels. They have huge ad spends and they have a lot of direct analytics and push with the big streaming services. So the smaller artists, it can be really difficult to get through the crowded, space there. And yeah, the compensation, isn't great unless if you're doing hundreds of thousands, millions of streams, then it gets, feels better. But the vast majority of artists around the world doing amazing work are not in that situation. They're not hitting that, and the algorithm isn't necessarily pushing them to, millions of people either. So yeah, I'll certainly live stream events like this, supporting through downloads, through crowdfunding campaigns, all that stuff is really what makes it more sustainable for most indie artists out there.
Yeah, I think like the main reason for wanting to do this in the first place was not only to hopefully give a platform to some artists who like struggle getting those streams in, because I did some quick math when I was like doing the graphics for Organico, and basically even if you make like I think if you make 1 million streams on a single song, you make around $4,000, which is definitely not a lot. I mean, it covers some expenses, I suppose. It depends on where you are, really, but it's just not sustainable in the long run, and it has not been for quite a while now. So it's as you said, it's a tough situation for many out there. And with the rise of like AI generated music hitting platforms from every angle imaginable, like Spotify has demonetized every song that has below 1,000 streams. So that makes it even harder for people that are genuinely trying to hit, a certain amount of streams or like monthly listeners just to get by, basically, because there's so many artists, even among those that we're featuring tonight, that have to take on like multiple jobs in order to survive. Like you cannot survive off of music, and that's depressing because I mean, music is a full-time job. Oh, thank you, Dynasty. Hi, Dynasty. I love you. So glad to have you here. And we have a very interesting video and song from Dynasty coming up later. So basically it's a tough situation. We cannot possibly like sum up everything that's wrong in like a few minutes, but we just wanted to get like things going, and this this discussion is important, and it needs to be taken seriously. That's I would say that's the main issue right now, because I mean there's crisis at every point in time, but this is an ongoing crisis, and it has been for many years. So yeah. Okay, so I have like a little timetable that I check in order to remember what's coming up next, but I do have like a picture in my mind, but sometimes I have to go and check myself. So the next artist is a non-binary singer, musician, producer from Scotland. Their name is Elizabeth Electra, and they're coming out next year with an album called Hyper Sigil. It's their sophomore album, And the song that I'm about to play, well, it's actually a music video, is called Desire. And it's the latest single from their upcoming album. I read some critics saying that it has some sort of an early Madonna pop quality to it, which I agree with to an extent, but the main thing is it has that unmistakably Electra energy to it. So without further ado, let's watch Elizabeth Electra with Desire. Enjoy.
I wanna feel my own desire. I wanna burn this flame you've lit in me. No sin in wanting this love. I'm overtaken by the fire you've given me. This is something I've never felt, and I'm awakening to my body. When we're together, she melts. There is nothing but this fever you've given me. Now it's clear my desire is overtaking me. Can't go back, there is no sin in sexuality. My body is a vessel for the love you give to me. Baby, I am hypnotized. Don't let this be the last time that we touch. Desire, desire, desire. Don't let this be the last time that we touch. Desire, desire, desire. Give me something I've never felt. Free from the ties of society. Touch so immaculate. Doesn't matter if you're boy, girl, or in between. Now it's clear my desire is overtaking me. Can't go back, there is no sin in sexuality. My body is a vessel for the love you give to me. Baby, I'm hypnotized. Don't let this be the last time that we touch. Desire, desire, desire. Don't let this be the last time that we touch. Desire, desire, desire. Carnality, sensuality. There is nothing but this feeling that you're giving me. Carnality, sensuality, desire, desire, desire. Now it's clear my desire is overtaking me. Can't go back, there is no sin in sexuality. Your body is a vessel for the love you give to me. Baby, I am hypnotized. Don't let this be the last time that we touch. Desire, desire, desire. Don't let this be the last time that we touch. Desire, desire, desire. Don't let this be the last time. Desire, desire, desire. Don't let this be the last time. Desire, desire, desire.
So that was pretty powerful. Elizabeth Electra with Desire. And yeah, it's one of my favorite songs released this year. And it is very pop and yeah, pretty dramatic, pretty intense, like Mac is saying. And yeah, we were actually we met last time we met was last year in Parma, in Italy, because they were here with their husband Stuart Braithwaite of Mogwai, and yeah, we hung out a little bit and we talked about, we always talk about the state in the industry, and Spotify Wraps and everything that like gets on indie artists' nerves, because I mean, there's just too much going on, and like there's an interview that states this a little bit further. Well, no, actually, Julia Logan said this as well. It's an ever-changing industry, so whenever you think you have your head wrapped around it, something changes, and it makes things difficult. But Elizabeth Electra is a force of nature, and I wish them all the best and success that they clearly deserve. So, up next, we have another artist from Argentina, and his name is LAPOPBRUT. Well, he goes by the name LAPOPBRUT, and he has changed quite a few monikers you will hear in his interview bit. That he's gone through a lot of changes artistically, and it's a very unique presentation, very campy, a little bit trashy, like deliberately trashy. So it's a very fun and energetic performance. So let's get ready for LAPOPBRUT, and we'll see you a little bit later.
Hello internet people, usually my name is Facundo, but today I am coming to you as somebody else, somebody a little bit more fun. Today I am coming to you as LAPOPBRUT, and I'm very excited about this Q&A, so let's get started. Well, I started making music around college, and I don't have any formal music training or education. My background is actually in graphic design and digital art, so I always felt closer to computers, but I've always been obsessed with music. And I knew that I wanted to make my own music. So I decided, instead of spending the next 10 years learning an instrument to play music then, why don't you learn how to make music with your computer now? And this is a decision that has come back to bite me in the ass several times. But, here we are. I grew up and I still live in a place that is very far away from all the big music industry cities of the world. But we still have a very active artist community. I learned from the artists around me that we needed to, carve our own spaces and redefine what success means to us. Basically do what we can to survive. So my perspective of the music industry has always been that of an outside observer, in a way. When I was younger, it was much more, aspirational, utopian, like a goal that I wanted to achieve. But as I grew older, I started looking at the music industry like any other industry nowadays, which is CEOs and platforms doing their very best to exploit as much value as they can from workers. That's where I'm at. So, LAPOPBRUT, the name, is a sort of faux French mix of words pronounced in a Latinized way. It comes from, I think it's pronounced l'art brut, which is the first name given to outsider art, the art of the outcast, of the neurodivergent. That is something that is very near and dear to me for a variety of reasons. So I started thinking, how does pop music relate to outsider art? Pop music, which is the most polished and commercial and normative form of music, in the context of outsider art, which is, the most unpolished, raw, self-indulgent type of art there is. Is it possible to mix the two? How will that sound like? I don't know, but it's fun to try. So LAPOPBRUT is an exploration of the strange, the off-kilter, with a bit of the cheap and the trashy, sometimes coded with the aesthetic of the highbrow and the fine art, self-made costumes with second-hand clothing and DIY visuals and, references to underground icons, and all that interests me. So the light was written during a big depressive episode. That is something that I have dealt with my whole life, depression and very extreme anxiety is something that has really defined who I am. Very festive, I know. And the song specifically is about feeling at odds with your own mind and knowing, I am once again stuck in a depressive episode, and I know that I'm going to find my way out of it eventually because it's cyclical. It happens every now and then. But I don't know how long it's going to take me, and it is scary and it sucks. But I'm still longing and living for the moment when the light returns and life feels beautiful again and the fog clears, so to speak. That is something that many songs that I love do, which is, the contrast between a dancey, glovey type song with very dark, depressing and personal lyrics. So that is something that I wanted to explore with the light. Actually, I was planning to have a debut EP for LAPOPBRUT out this year, but I ain't gonna lie, I have 2-day jobs. Life has been kicking me in the ass lately, so I think we're going to be starting next year, 2025, with a brand new LAPOPBRUT EP. So yeah, that is what is in the agenda for now. I had prepared a special video performance on my song The Light. I'm going to be giving you sad clown realness and a little bit of rural scenery from my hometown and house music and autotune, so I hope you like it. Thank you for having me here. Always ready whenever you want me. I love to put on my little costumes and dance around and sing my little songs, so yeah.
The show will begin shortly. But first, a message from LAPOPBRUT.
Hello Organico, I am an artist you probably don't know who goes today by the name of LAPOPBRUT. I used to go by the name of OG, then Delta OG, and tomorrow, who knows? Through the power of technology, I'm coming to you live to the digital dreamscape with a message. Thank you so much for being there and supporting indie creators from different corners of the world. It means more to us than you realize. Us little local weirdos are always willing to welcome you to the scrappy little worlds we put together, especially when our other alternative is, Spotify. You will now be seeing a performance of one of my songs from my days as Delta OG. It's called The Light. This dream transmission starts now.
If you wanna know the truth, I'll see the world and chase of blue. It's been a minute since it all felt right. Don't just wanna be alive, I wanna feel it deep inside. Need something beautiful to come by. Wanna know what I need, is it all in me? Wanna know
what I feel. Is that how it is? Let your light in, let your light in. Come on, can you do it again? Let your light in, let your light in. It's all I need, all I need. Let your light in, let your light in. You know this should not be the end. Let your light in, let your light in. It's all I need. Baby, I don't wanna cry for just one moment. I'll race by where you go, easy on me this one time. Sorry, but I have to go. I'm gonna find me a new world with all things beautiful and softer life. I don't know what I need. Is it all in me? Wanna know how I feel. Is it how it is? Let your light in, let your light in. Come on, can you do it again? Let your light in, let your light in. It's all I need, all I need. Let your light in, let your light in. You know this should not be the end. Let your light in, let your light in. It's all I need. Let your light in, let your light in. Come on, can you do it again? Let your light in, let your light in. It's all I need, all I need. Let your light in, let your light in. You know this should not be the end. Let your light in, let your light in. It's all I need. Come on, can you do it again? Let your light in, let your light in. It's all I need, all I need. Let your light in, let your light in. You know this should not be the end. Let your light in, let your light in. It's all I need.
And we're back. That was LAPOPBRUT, also known as, formerly known as Delta OG, with a really fun performance of his song Delight. And I know that Facundo isn't here in the chat. He mentioned something about not being able to catch the beginning of the stream, but I hope that we'll be able to catch up a little bit later tonight. So next up, after the sad clown realness, we have to switch to something quite serious, actually, because I wanted to make a little pitch for this NGO that I'm also, donating to as part of this crowdfunding, which is called Pangea. It's Pangea in Italian, but it's an organization, nonprofit organization that helps women, especially first of all in Italy, because they have a helpline in Italy for women who are victims of abuse and domestic violence. So they help them relocate to safe addresses, and they put them to safety, and they give these women who have been stripped of their dignity a new life. So which I feel is quite important, not even more so in countries like Afghanistan, where they mainly operate with all of that that's going on. So 10% of tonight's proceeds will be split between Pangea and another NGO, which is Medical Aid for Palestinians, which I will talk about a little bit later tonight. So if you have the capacity and if you're able to, please go to the link in the description and check the GoFundMe and see what I'm trying to to do with this. It's gonna be like even €5. It's the smallest donation that I can allow on GoFundMe as per the platform's own regulations. But and even the total donation itself will not be a lot, but it has to send a message, especially in a time of giving, which is Christmas. It's not just receiving. So now, speaking of women and like remaining on this quite sensitive topic, we have our next artist from Toronto. Her name is Dynasty, and I leave the honors to Patch to introduce her and what we're about to see.
Yes, thank you, Marco. Yeah, I've had the pleasure of working with Dynasty for a few years now. She's a powerhouse artist, writer, rapper, creator, dancer, performance coach as well. She coaches young and emerging artists on their stagecraft, trauma-informed actually coaching, which is helping people kind of break through whatever's holding them back on stage. But she herself is a really wonderful performer. I hope some of you will have the opportunity to see her live in person at some point. But for now, yeah, she's going to have a little intro video to herself and share one of her most potent works based on sort of deep experiences as a woman, life experiences. And she comes from having gone through many struggles herself, spent several years in and out of shelters and wrestling with homelessness, etc., and has overcome many things, and is putting together actually an amazing debut album after releasing music for 10 years, actually a full-length album coming out next year. And this is actually the first song that is sort of going to be a part of that project. And it's basically speaking to the experience of, particularly of a Black girl, Black woman growing up in a broken home, dealing with love, relationships, the good, the bad, and telling the stories of a lot of the women in her community, right? So it's told from very different perspectives, some more her own and other perspectives that she's trying to incorporate into this project. And but this next video is really very deep, very personal, and I'll let her set it up, the rest of it.
Thank you, Patch. And it's a very important video, but it comes with a trigger warning for those who are affected by images, of violence and abuse, especially towards women. And let's leave it to her. This is Dynasty with Miscarriage.
You killed a member of the clan. You killed a member of the fam.
Hello, beautiful people. Wagwan. Hello, Organico. Hello, Marco. Hello, audience. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Dynasty, and I am an artist, a music artist, singer, entertainer, dancer, all around actor, things, all the things. And I am from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Today we are going to show a music video that is very dear to me. The song is called Miscarriage. It is not about an actual miscarriage, but it is about the process of becoming a miss, aka an independent solo woman who's pushing a carriage. Now I'm warning you, this music video is kind of hard to watch simply because it's so real and so raw and so honest. Very often you'll hear women talk about switch-ups that can happen with a male partner once they get invested with them. Sometimes the man switches up after they sleep together. Sometimes the man waits until they're married and these men feel like they have ownership of the woman, so then they switch up at that point in time. And then sometimes it doesn't happen until the woman becomes pregnant or until the woman already has the child. These switch-ups can be very painful, very disheartening, and they're unexpected. Like, there are some men who just play games and don't reveal their true selves until they're very, very comfortable. So miscarriage talks about a switch up in a male partner that happens after he finds out that his woman is pregnant with his child. The reason why I made this music video and decided to put it out was because I know that there are women all around the world who are experiencing heartbreak at this level, betrayal and trauma at this level. And sometimes we feel very, very alone in our trauma. But in releasing a song and a work of art like this, I am letting these women know that they are not alone. And in fact, we should come together and share our stories and heal and learn from them so that we can go out there and hopefully feel more empowered and to do better in our future relationships.
I don't think you understand. You killed a member of the clan. You killed a member of the fam. Wu-Tang, gang, gang, gang. Didn't know I could conceive. It's hard to believe. The soul chose me. God knows what's happening, but I don't. I'm so confused. Wonder how it's even true. How did you get through? We use protection, but kids got methods. Crept past all our senses, teaching me a lesson. Plotted on us like a sniper, struck me like a viper. I could feel it in my blood, heartbeat like a drum. He don't wanna be the daddy. Yesterday we were talking marriage. Now he's praying for a miscarriage. Now his plan really starts to add up. Kid came before he served the platter. Bitter taste of his true character. Action showing he was just an actor. Now he wanna say that I'm selfish, giving up the dreams on my checklist to accept the kid that God let in. He the man, so he makes demands and demands me to kill God's plan. Leads without listening, stomach pain, the pressure I'm stressing, but we need to accept it, guys. We use protection, but kids got methods. Crept past all our senses, plotted on us like a sniper, struck me like a viper. Warrior in its blood, heartbeat like a drum. Baby, it's a baby. It's a warrior coming to the world. I don't want it on my hands. Kill a member of the clan. Kill a member of the fam. Wu-Tang, gang, gang, gang. I don't want it on my hands. Kill a member of the clan. Kill a member of the fam. Wu-Tang, gang, 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 gang. Oh my God. Gang, 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 gang. Have I young? Gang, 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 gang. Hallelujah. Gang, gang, ancestors, yeah, my God, coming through. Gang, 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 gang.
That was powerful. And every time I listen to the song, I'm reminded of why it's so important that it's heard, outside of its natural boundaries, because it's a hard song. It's a hard song to listen to, and the video makes it even harder. But all the more reasons to actually go and listen. So thank you, Dynasty. Miscarriage was actually my third most streamed song this year on Tidal, and which means, I mean, I've the thing about Organico, I do a lot of like trial and error when it comes to picking the songs. So ideally I would love to let everyone in with every kind of song, and I try to, create a diverse environment. But it has got to never to be performative. I have to pick the artists myself, and I have to choose them because I feel like, not because I obviously have like my taste in music as like some sort of a range, and there's music that I wouldn't listen to like regularly every day, but still I love to include as many genres as possible and make it a varied experience, as long as it's organic, no pun intended, or totally intended. That was Dynasty. And now I see my friend Cranìa in the chat. Ciao, Francesca. And she was my classmate in uni, in my very first years of uni. She has a degree in musicology as well. She will just talk about this in our interview, which is coming up next. And she has a new album out. It came out earlier this year, and it's called 584, which is the number of days that the planet Venus takes to like do a full lap around the sun, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it's a great album, great indie pop, Italian indie pop. And she has prepared a special performance for us tonight. So let's go and have a listen. This is Cranìa and Arturo. Enjoy.
Ciao, sono Cranìa, sono una cantautrice e vengo dalle montagne della provincia di Brescia. Sono felice di far parte di questo fantastico progetto. Dico sempre di avere un rapporto di amore e odio con la musica, perché ho iniziato a studiare da piccola, solfeggio, canto, eccetera. Poi l'ho abbandonata e mi sono avvicinata ad essa da grande con la laurea in musicologia. Poi pian piano mi sono approcciata alla scrittura con dei corsi appunto di composizione, di songwriting, e lì è stato una sorta di flusso di coscienza all'inizio, dove ho provato ad abbozzare qualcosa, penso un po' come tutti. Ancora oggi non riesco a capire qual è stata la molla che mi ha fatto scattare quella consapevolezza nel dire sì, so scrivere. In realtà non so se so farlo. Però è stato forse quella dinamica naturale che mi ha portato ad arrivare fin dove sono ora. Il primo contatto è stato quando ho pubblicato nel 2020, anno direi perfetto, il mio primo singolo che si intitola Stomachion. È stato appunto il primo contatto con il mondo della discografia, e all'inizio devo dire che ero abbastanza sicuramente disillusa nei confronti di essa, perché avevo delle aspettative, o comunque sai, un artista pensa sempre che sia tutto comunque o bianco o nero. In realtà ci sono comunque varie sfaccettature. Con l'andare avanti della crescita comunque artistica capisci che è molto variegato, e in realtà vengono meno anche le aspettative, o forse anche una forma di protezione nei confronti di un artista indipendente. stato sicuramente un percorso faticoso, lo è tuttora, però sai anche che i sacrifici che tu fai sono farina del tuo sacco e quindi forse è tanto anche più gratificante questo. Certo, delle volte magari una pacca sulla spalla sarebbe sicuramente bella, comunque si dice che è bello il percorso, no? E questo in sostanza è la percezione è sicuramente cambiata e anche progetti come questo, come quello di Organico, sicuramente fanno ben sperare e sono altrettanto felice di farne parte e di essere anche nel mio piccolo portavoce, lo spero, di realtà che possono in qualche modo coesistere.
Dove vanno a finire tutti i giorni trascorsi?
È nato come in realtà nascono parecchi brani miei, ossia scrivo magari strofe separati da ritornelli, poi li lascio decantare e li riprendo, quindi Denti da latte è nato da un mix, poi messo insieme, ho fatto una specie di collage. In sostanza Denti da latte parla di come noi umani abbiamo la forza, nonostante le nostre cadute, abbiamo la forza di rialzarci e non sappiamo nemmeno noi dove troviamo questa forza, però c'è, esiste. Molto spesso deriva dal fatto che, almeno io sulla mia pelle ho percepito questa cosa, deriva dal fatto che almeno sta nell'amarsi di più. Quindi una volta che noi ci amiamo di più, comunque siamo più consapevoli di noi stessi, riusciamo a trovare questa forza.
Siamo denti da latte, destinati a cadere, con le ossa più rotte, e comincio a calciare.
Invece Arturo è sicuramente stata un'ispirazione più istantanea, perché narra la storia di mio nonno paterno che non ho conosciuto, però a detta di mio padre e di una mia zia era molto somigliante con me, sia per il carattere molto sensibile ma allo stesso tempo forte, sia per una ciste che portiamo entrambi nel braccio destro, e per il mese di nascita, tra l'altro un giorno di differenza. Quindi Denti da latte sembra una canzone più universale, mentre Arturo è una canzone più personale. In realtà Arturo, che ho assimilato una stella, può essere comunque universale, perché tutti noi abbiamo una stella a cui dedichiamo magari dei pensieri, o comunque una persona che non abbiamo conosciuto, una persona che abbiamo perso, quindi possiamo farla secondo me tutti un po' nostra.
Come fai a mancarmi se non ti ho mai conosciuto? Bestemmio del tuo cielo perché sai solo brillare. Scusa se ho perso la pazienza.
Assolutamente ho dei nuovi progetti in cantiere che non vedo l'ora di farvi ascoltare. Sembra una frase fatta, ma in realtà è così. E ho delle collaborazioni in pentola fantastiche. E niente, però non so che dire, cioè non dico. Ok, qua dico, dai, dico. Vi ricordate quando ho parlato del fatto che vengo dalle montagne di Brescia? Più precisamente vengo dalla Val Camonica e stasera troverete un po' di Val Camonica, quindi un po' di montagna all'interno della performance, un po' di field recording. Quindi state attenti ai suoni, aguzzate le orecchie. Per me è un piacere e buon ascolto.
Vista nascere a 36 anni luce da qui, nel primo giorno di scuola non ti vedevo e mi sentivo poco, perché il giorno non muore, candele spegnerò, il desiderio lo stesso, sei il mio gigante rosso e tra le dita ti a fuoco per non restare sola. Arturo, fa mancarmi se non ti ho mai conosciuto. Bestemmi del tuo cielo perché sai solo brillare. Scusa se ho perso la pazienza. Arturo, per cercarti tra miliardi di amanti. Ti trovo prima di addormentarmi.
So you liked it? Oh, it's very it's a very raw, emotive voice that like my friend Cranìa has. I love this song a lot, and this is kind of an this was not programmed at all, but I have to take a moment for myself here because I just lost someone very important to me on Saturday. Only a few people in this chat know about this, and my therapist passed away at the age of 50 suddenly, because it basically happened over the span of like 3 or 4 months, and I had no idea. I just found out on Saturday while I was out with friends. It was a tough moment. I was not expecting that at all, and I kept thinking, I need to get in touch with him because we hadn't talked since December 2023, and his last message was, Christmas wishes, and I'm heartbroken. I have a hard time finding the words, but what I can do and say right now is that this show is dedicated to him. So, ciao Doc. His name was Daniel Bulla. So I'll leave this here for people who will come and hopefully watch this. He loved music a lot. So I don't know if he would like this music, but he loved music. That's for sure. So thank you all for the nice comments, and let's move on. So next, I wanted to talk about a little bit of something first. So last year I was for the very first time in North America, and this is actually where when I met Patch in person for the first time. I went to Toronto to see one of my favorite artists of all time, but not just favorite artist. She's one of my favorite people in general. Her name is Jonna Lee, which many of you are familiar with in this chat. And Organico would not exist without Jonna. So hi, Jonna, if you ever watch this. And she was on tour in North America last year. And she had quite a few artists opening for her. So she had a couple supporting acts for the European part of the tour, which was just like a handful of dates. But then she had quite a few artists joining on in the US and in Canada as well. And speaking of Canada, this artist is from Montreal, and her name is Tess Roby, and she has a band called Dawn to Dawn, which I wanted to include in this show, even though she couldn't really take part in it herself. But we talked a little bit, and she liked the idea of me playing the song. It's called Yours to Know, and it's Dawn to Dawn's latest single. It's very energetic, very kind of experimental, I would say, a little bit. And it's coming up next for Organico. Enjoy. So that was Yours to Know, just an excerpt, a little small part of it. For time constraints, I cannot play full songs when it's just music, just so you know. It's just to keep you engaged, because we know how it is nowadays. You have to, we all have very short attention spans, so we need to be careful with dishing out content like this. But this is a really lovely song, and I hope you'll check it out. Yours to Know by Dawn to Dawn. And next up we have a very long performance. No, I'm just joking. It's long by the standards of this of the show, really, because it's a DJ set. And yeah, and it's by my friend Yumeaki, a non-binary artist from Italy. And yeah, they have prepared a DJ set with their most recent hits and songs that basically give you an example of what their sound is like and how it varies also. Yes, indeed, it's time to dance, and I hope you're ready. Yumeaki is an incredibly skilled producer, and I'm very proud of their continued growth as an artist, artistically and personal growth. You can tell from their songs that there's been a lot of honing of those skills. And so before we get into that, I know it's quite unusual nowadays to collect physical media, but I wanted to show one of the things you can do for independent artists, since we are talking about that, and that's the main focus of the show. Maybe you like to collect stuff. So I have a few records, CDs, cassettes by some of the artists that we've heard tonight. So this is Elizabeth Electra's first album. Whoops. And it's called Mercurial. This is the little booklet that they did, which is frankly quite awesome. I love the pictures. And this is Minute Taker's Wolf Powers, his most recent studio album. And this was actually a gift, but I bought the singles on Bandcamp from Cranìa, 584. And yeah, that's a way you can support artists, and especially through Bandcamp, or if they have official stores, it's something you can do. And I did that quite a lot with Yumeaki. I bought all of their releases. I regularly do. It's just sometimes it's just €1, €2, which is a couple dollars, US dollars. It's not a lot of money, but it does make a difference. Sometimes artists really this support keeps them going. And it's not just to toot my own horn. A lot of people buy music through Bandcamp. This year alone, they've sold millions worth of merchandising. And even if you don't if you want to keep your carbon footprint down, you can just buy music digitally instead, because as we already mentioned before, streaming unfortunately doesn't pay quite much at all. So before we get into the next artist, what do you think of tonight's show so far, Patch?
It's amazing. I'm so awesome to see all these different artists from different parts of the globe. It's really eye-opening. I've seen little tidbits before, but it's really great to get to know them more and see them in their own settings. So.
Yeah, I thought it was it was probably it's one of the goals of this show was to let people perform and show sides of themselves that we don't usually see, because even if we do have and use social media on the daily, Sometimes there's like some intimate parts or just things that we don't really like to show, and we are in our own right to do that. And artists, independent artists, sometimes reveal themselves through their art. And I know we're all rushing, we all have very little time, but I hope you will have some time for these artists tonight. And once again, thank you for tuning in and commenting and engaging with this stream. We have Yumeaki and their DJ set. Get ready to dance. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Sono Yumeaki, artista non binary, producer, cantautore, scrivo, produco, mixo, masterizzo la mia musica da me e sarò anche la tua guida in un caos di generi che si mescolano tra di loro. Mi piace pensarmi come una glitter bomb, la tua glitter bomb preferita. Sono qui per sfumare i confini tra sogno e realtà, musica e performance e magari darti anche una piccola crisi esistenziale lungo il tragitto. Immagina un piccolo Yumeaki con delle cuffie troppo grandi per la sua testa che finge di essere la prossima Britney Spears davanti allo specchio. Ho iniziato giocherellando con un registratore della Fisher-Price e una piccola tastierina della Casio per poi fare un salto di qualità anni dopo con Fruity Loops, che ora si chiama FL Studio. Ho trasformato la mia cameretta in un laboratorio di box. Non ho avuto una formazione propriamente classica, puro amore, pura passione e ossessione per i PC e soprattutto la musica. Beh, l'industria musicale è complicata, molto complicata direi. Onestamente è al 90% falsa. La maggior parte delle persone ti vedono semplicemente come un'occasione, un'opportunità di business e non propriamente come un essere umano. Ci sono stati dei momenti in cui ho stretto dei legami con altri artisti per questo presunto amore verso la musica, verso il fare musica, per poi rendermi conto in un secondo momento che questo fosse semplicemente un trampolino di lancio per loro, per ottenere ciò che volevano. È estremamente scoraggiante, ma è una lezione di vita allo stesso tempo. Detto ciò, però, ho anche incontrato delle persone eccezionali che sono poi diventate mie amiche. Sono persone che mi ricordano perché faccio questo, perché continuo, perché persevero per la mia musica, nella mia musica. Certo, ho altresì commesso degli errori a dir poco eccezionali, ma questi errori mi hanno insegnato moltissimo. Air Fryer tratta di trasformare il dolore in potere, è audace, è ironica e sprizza attitudine da tutti i pori, ma poi è schifosamente hyperpop. L'ho scritta dopo innumerevoli episodi di tradimento da parte dei miei amici e non solo. Ho cercato di incanalare tutta quella frustrazione che ne è derivata in qualcosa di divertente e empowering. È stato un po' come servire tutti i tuoi sentimenti, tutto ciò che hai dentro su un piatto bello croccante e dire sono ancora qui e ti servo io. Sostanzialmente tratta di resilienza con un pizzico di assurdità, esattamente come lo è la vita. You feel the heat in every single way while I enjoy my recipe ready for my grand buffet. I'll put you in the air fryer. Il 2024 è stato uno degli anni più difficili per me e la mia famiglia. Ci siamo trovati ad affrontare delle sfide a livello medico, a livello di salute, ma ci siamo anche trovati neanche troppo tempo fa a lambire le ferite di un lutto, poiché abbiamo perso un membro molto importante della nostra famiglia. Perciò la mia musica ha subito una battuta d'arresto ed è passata naturalmente in secondo piano. Contavo di rilasciare quanta più musica possibile durante l'anno, cosa che Purtroppo poi non è stata. Spero però di recuperare nel 2025. C'è un progetto in particolare che ho scritto, prodotto e registrato più di un anno fa, leggermente diverso da ciò che ho pubblicato finora. Meno ironico, più dance pop ed è profondamente personale ed è una sorta di gettar via la maschera. Avrei voluto rilasciarlo nell'autunno di quest'anno, ma purtroppo la post-produzione è ancora in alto mare. Prima di pubblicare questo progetto ho quasi pronto il mio secondo mixtape. Sto lavorando anche ad un terzo mixtape che è principalmente dedicato a quelle 10 persone che davvero apprezzano la mia musica. Sarà completo e puro fan service, completamente folle e davvero molto divertente. Per stasera vi ho preparato un mix delle mie tracce più emblematiche, quelle che rappresentano, che a mio parere definiscono al meglio il mio sound. Cercherò di darvi un assaggio di tutto ciò che è stato il mio percorso tra hyperpop, riflessioni personali e tutto ciò che c'è in mezzo. Energia pura, un pizzico di vulnerabilità e soprattutto il tocco inconfondibile di Yumeaki. Grazie infinite Marco, è stato un onore e un piacere essere qui per Organico e spero di rifarlo presto.
Expert level petty, can nobody bring me down? I got all the shade, I'm the queen of the frown. I'm the master of the side, I am the ruler of the burn. I'm the one you don't wanna mess with, cause I will make you yearn. I'm the one with the sass, I'm the one with the class. I will put you in your place and I will make you kiss my ass. I'm the one with the power, I'm the one in control. I will make you regret the day you ever crossed my goal. I am Betty, don't you dare cross me. I am Betty, you regret it, you see. I am Betty, I'm the best at this game. I am Betty, I will make you feel the flame. I am Betty, expert level petty. I am Betty, it's mean and devil level messy. Cause I am petty, yeah, I am petty. Expert level petty. I am petty, it's mean and devil level messy. Cause I am petty, yeah, I'm the one with attitude, I'm the one with style. I will make you regret the day you dare to fake your smile. I'm the one to back down, always gonna wear my crown. You may think you got the upper hand, but I will burn you down. I am petty, don't you dare cross me. I am petty, you regret it, you see. I am petty, I'm the best at this game. I am petty, I will make you feel the flame. I am petty, expert level petty. I am petty, it's mean and devil level messy. Cause I am petty, yeah, I am petty. Expert level. I'm breaking free, no leash, no muzzle. Control your feathers, cause I'm here to ruffle. Society caged me, but I broke through the struggle. No more conformity, I'm a burst your bubble. Yo soy única, no me encasillo. En este mundo voy marcando el estilo, rompiendo muros, yo no me limito. Call me a bitch, but I call it ambition. Así es como me llaman a mí. I wish they could do exactly like me. Growling in public at my energy, secretly howling in bed with me. Alpha, bitch. Así es como me llaman a mí. Perra, alpha, bitch. Así es como me llaman a mí. I'm living life, living at large. Up with that bar, I'm the one in charge. Breaking barriers, setting apart. I'm fierce and bold, and I'm built to last. I'm a total bitch, say that with pride. You're riding high, won't let it slide. And I said, babe, don't you forget. Say it up in the eye, you're just a bad. Vigila bien
si te cruzas conmigo. No quieres que sea tu enemigo. Están con las cartas y a ti te maldigo. Hazte mediocre, si te lo digo. Dame la corona ya. Lantopo, Sailor Mars. Brillo sin purpurina. La Terra Alpha is in the house. Ya mírame, mírame, fíjate bien. Soy un Picasso y tú un simple pincel. Valgo millones, un NFT. Si quieres pasar tú arrodíllate. Me da igual lo que se diga de mí. Esto me sirve de public for free. ¿Sabes tú quién es que manda allí? Resumen aquí y tiene que ver. Terra Alpha Bitch. Así es como me llaman a mí. Terra Alpha Bitch. Así es como me llaman a mí.
I'm living life, living at large. Up without bark, I'm the one in charge. Breaking barriers, setting apart. I'm fierce and bold, and I'm built to last. I'm a total bitch, say that with pride. You're riding high, won't let it slide. And I said, babe, don't you forget. Nothing that I do, just a pet.
Salgo a la calle, me he venido arriba. Sigo de oro todo el día. Ando los runway, me sobra energía. La perfección diseñado con guía. Bebe grita en el concurso de raza. Ladro y muerdo, no llevo vocal. Ya soy de león, brillo en la oscuridad. Las terras alfas, Arcel Infan ya. Terra Alpha Bitch. Así es como me llaman a mí. Terra Alpha Bitch. Así es como me llaman a mí.
I used to trust my friends, they were my ride or die. I couldn't play pretend, so I had to say goodbye. We had each other's back, and I thought we were tight. It's time for sweet payback, now just desserts inside. You turned your back, left me high and dry. Now take a seat, it's time to fry. Cucumber plant with salty rice. I'll put you in the air fryer, 'cause you love to play with fire. I'll marinate your words in an earthy blend of spite. I can wait to watch you squirm, 'cause you're the main course tonight. I'll put you in the air fryer to teach you a lesson, make you expire. I'll make you feel the heat in every single way, while I enjoy my recipe, ready for my grand buffet. I'll put you in the air fryer. Now take a seat, it's time to fire. I'll put you in the air fryer, 'cause you love to play with fire. I'll marinate your words in an earthy blend of spite. I can wait to watch you squirm, 'cause you're the main course tonight. I'll put you in the air fryer to teach you a lesson, make you expire. I'll make you feel the heat in every single way, while I enjoy my recipe, ready for my grand buffet. I'll put you in the air fryer. I'm addicted, can't resist the taste of freedom, and I keep on coming back for more. Till I go of this never-ending spiral that's so vicious, and I've never felt like this before. Can't move on. I feel the heat, I'm alive. My taste buds are about to ignite. Yeah. Let's get into secret vices so that we can savor each bite. Yeah. Got a special need, baby, I need something sweet. Let me have my meal, would you spice it up for me? Whatever you need, reach out to me for a treat. Life is hard on me, balance out all the salty. That's all I need, sweet, salty. That's all I need, I'm letting off my steam. That's all I need, it's a nerdy, won't let me breathe. I'm gorging on bodies. I'm afflicted by being trapped in this position, and I cannot seem to get enough like a rush. A reminder of my empty satisfaction. Can't break free from this ritual. I need the heat every night, and what's the harm in heating each other? Let's share a piece, I might buy it. No regrets, just boundless desire. Got a special need, baby, I need something sweet. Let me have my meal, would you spice it up for me? Whatever you need, reach out to me for a treat. Life is hard on me, balance out all your salty. Something about you's driving me insane. You turn me on to make me feel ashamed. You're not worth the tears I have shed. Now everything is so clear, not right to quit. You fuckers always down to filthy games. I stay with the cosa pegaze. Algún de cure, you said. Alguien manjanize. Set up there on fire, 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 fire. Set you on fire and watch you burn. Body count rising, revenge is earned. You tried to play me, she thought you failed. Now you're just ashes, forever jailed. Dame, atashina tikulinayi. Dirty, dirty words, I don't wanna hear a plea. You could make I'ma put you under my feet. Full of fire, that's what you get for stepping on me. You're a basket case, you don't deserve my sympathy. No more, why are you gonna see? I don't know why we were right there on masculinity. No more pleading for mercy. Tables are turning. You brought out the worst in me. Oh, now you're begging. I never felt more alive than when I saw your tears. They healed my pain inside. Look, there's just one thing that could make up my mind. And all I wanna do is sit here and watch you cry. You know I got a lot on my plate. Let me share, I'll give you a taste of my love turned into hate. That's how you say she ain't fake. That's how you say she ain't fake. She ain't fake. Love the way you eat me up and just to taste. How you say she ain't fake. They say I should be ashamed, just pure elation. I finally took my revenge. What a sweet sensation. I never felt more alive than when I saw your tears slowly turn into blood. Look, there's just one thing that could make up my mind. And all I wanna do is sit here and watch you cry. You know I got a lot on my plate. Let me share, I'll give you a taste of my love turned into hate. That's how you say she ain't fake. That's how you say she ain't fake. She ain't fake. Love the way you eat me up and just to taste. How you say she ain't fake. You know I got a lot on my plate. Let me share, I'll give you a taste of my love turned into hate. That's how you say she ain't fake. That's how you say she ain't fake. She ain't fake. Love the way you eat me up and just to taste. That's how you say she ain't fake.
So that was Yumeaki, my very talented friend from Italy. And they performed a very fun, energetic set containing all their latest singles. And yeah, despite, the high and mighty lyrics, they're actually quite shy. I mean, in the songs, they speak English, Spanish, Japanese, and Italian, and they're fluent in Japanese because they've lived in Japan for a little while. So that's quite impressive, and I'm very proud of Yumeaki. So thank you for lending us your music for tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the dancey vibes and tunes from my friend. So up next, we have another artist whom I met online this year through another artist that is featured as part of Organico, but who will not be performing tonight, which is Bright Light, Bright Light. And he shared this clip of this singer-songwriter from Scotland, whose name is Joe Hearty. And I fell in love instantly with his voice and his guitar playing. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely one of my standouts for this year. There's a song especially called Statue Made of Stone, which it will not be performing tonight, but it was part of Organico, which is one of my favorite songs released this year. Yeah, just to give you a little break from the dancey vibes, let's get back into some more acoustic music. And this is Joe Hearty and his song I Used to Bloom, exclusively for Organico. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, my name is Joe. Nice to meet you. I grew up playing various different instruments at school in sort of brass bands and orchestras. And then in my teens, I started playing in sort of quite noisy rock bands. And I spent probably 10 years playing in two different bands, doing a bunch of touring, releasing quite a bit of music. Yeah, and I sort of took a big pause around the age of 25, somewhere there, essentially to focus on my studies and to try and get a job. The music industry was difficult even then. But yeah, then I sort of spent another kind of 10 years or so not really doing much music at all. I've just kind of got back to it really within the last couple of years, pretty focused on what I'm doing now. So happy to be back in the swing of things. While I was playing in a specific band, Copy Haho, which was a kind of a four-piece indie rock band, we had a fair amount of kind of contact with the industry, from kind of labels and sort of publishers to lots of press, things like that. I mean, it was a long time ago, so my experience then is almost irrelevant at this point. I really enjoyed it to an extent. I think it was difficult as it is now to make a sort of sustainable career out of music. And it's a very competitive environment. Lots and lots of music everywhere, lots of bands. And lots of other bands, to be honest, at that time doing similar things to us. So that made it sort of more difficult than it could have been. But really fun, you know. Also, the highs and lows of sitting in the back of a transit van with four of your friends from school has its highs and lows, but ultimately a good experience. It's essentially a kind of collection of songs that sort of all stem around the idea of the body as an antenna for human experience. And in my case, predominantly queer-centric human experience. Yeah, and I wrote a lot of the songs from the previous summers, autumn 2023, and spent the kind of tail end of last year and the beginning of this year recording them with a few different people, a friend called Timu in Athens at Mutual Sound Studios, and also with a friend called Paul Rafferty in Liverpool. I would describe it as an EP of firsts, far bigger orchestrated moments, songs that feel sort of harmonically a lot more complex than things I'd written before. I think songwriting, hopefully, that feels a little bit more pointed and less abstract. I also worked on the kind of imagery that went along with that release with my friend Nodas Koutsikous, photographer and designer in Athens. I think it was the first time I'd really pushed to evolve the kind of aesthetic alongside the music. I think that really helped. From a process perspective, in terms of this little creative machine, it's really sort of become a little bit of a blueprint for what I'm working on now. Let me live easy. Statue Made of Stone, it's essentially about, that uses the idea of classical sculpture and its form as a sort of an unreal and imagined version of reality. Sculptors would study all kinds of different bodies a long, long time ago and sort of put together a best of. I love the legs from here, I love the torso from here, the jawline from over there. That was quite interesting to me in terms of how art, the way in which we make art is based on where we see value and based on the kind of idea we want to communicate. It's a fallacy, no matter how close to reality it's intended to be, how close to reality it's intending to document a specific emotion or experience. It's never that thing. It's a sort of a picture of it from a distance. I really liked how that sat alongside the way in which we sort of idealize each other in relationship, physical or emotional interactions, worshipping a beautiful fallacy.
I'll be your lover, your friend, I'll be your boy till the end. I'd feed that hunger deep within you, I'd bleed my body if you wanted me to.
And the other track that you mentioned, Believe in Something, does what it says on the tin, really. It's about the things we choose to believe or believe in order to just exist. Yeah, the things we tell ourselves to get through the day. And also some more of a personal reflection on that and the ways in which you sort of change who you are, what you do, what you say, mask your physical traits sometimes, or dress a certain way or present a specific way in order to kind of fit in or to assimilate into a specific culture or a specific context. And that's something I always kind of felt and still feel. Being what the world wants you to be, believing and valuing the things that the world wants you to value. The tension between that and then also really looking inward and understanding what's important to you, who you are, and what encourages you or helps you exist, what kind of gets you up in the morning. Bit of a vague answer, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I think if you listen to the words or you read them, it becomes pretty apparent what kind of a picture I'm trying to paint.
No control, upside down, you high, you low, foul or fair, no one cares. You got to believe in something, something's not there.
As I kind of mentioned earlier, I'm sort of working on a lot of new music at the moment, which I'm really excited about. Going to play a few shows. I'm sort of playing with the format of the shows and understanding what does and doesn't work. At the moment, they're fairly stripped back, which I'm enjoying, and I hope to perhaps, I think there'll be one in Berlin at the start of next year, I think in February, and following that, hopefully a couple here in London, and then also in Athens. Playing live will hopefully be a focus. And yeah, finishing new material and scheduling new releases. Hopefully beginning of next year, tail end of January, there'll be a new track out, so keep your ears open and eyes peeled.
No control, upside down.
Thank you for having me.
No one cares. You got to believe in something when something's not there. I used to bloom when the sun couldn't find me. I used to shine when the light grew dim. I used to dance till the early morning. I used to take all of the drugs you did. I used to bloom, I used to bloom, I used to bloom all night through. I used to bloom, I used to bloom like a sunflower fading on the light of the moon. I used to talk, but the world got louder. I used to walk with a fuck you stare. I used to find love in every corner. I used to fuck like it's going nowhere. I did not try to steer the ship. I let the tide bring what it did. I let the heat. I live my life like a kid. I did not try to wait my turn. I lit the match, I watched it burn. I felt the heat from cheek to cheek. Did I learn? Did I learn? I used to bloom. I used to bloom. I used to bloom all night through. I used to bloom. I used to bloom like a sunflower feeder on the light of the moon. I used to bloom. I used to bloom. I used to bloom the whole night through. I used to bloom. I used to bloom like a sunflower feeder on the light of the moon. Like a sunflower feeder on the light of the moon. Like a sunflower field on the light of the moon.
So that was Joe Hearty, and absolutely lovely performance of I Used to Bloom, which he recorded exclusively for this show. I see we have an average of 20 viewers on YouTube, so I appreciate that. Are you still with me? Just checking. So I leave this out to you, Patch, because the next artist is someone who you have worked with in some capacity before. So can you tell us a little bit about who it is and what they do?
Yeah, so this next artist, their name is Don't Make This Weird. The main person behind the project is Alex. He's from Wales, from Cardiff. And I met him actually when he came over to Canada to do writing with other artists. And he's been here a couple times since, done shows and gone to work with him. And he's an incredible songwriter. He's an incredible artist, vocalist, and music video director. He's sort of comes from background, and he's bootstrapped a whole bunch of beautiful music videos, which he's conceptualized and worked with directors of photography, other directors, co-directed. He floated a bed in the sea, like literally, like put floatables underneath the bed, and then had this like aerial view and stuff. And so he's done a lot of amazing work. But he's and he's got this new album actually coming out fairly shortly in the new year, and he's been releasing songs for actually the past 15 months, pretty much. So this video is one of the more recent songs from that project. So artist's name is Don't Make This Weird. The album is called Don't Make This Weird, and I believe we're going to be hearing of the song that's actually also called Don't Make This Weird.
A little bit confusing, but it works.
Yes.
It checks out. It's a really beautiful song. It's I think it's one of my favorites alongside Heartbreak on Antidepressants.
Yeah, with the response that I've heard is that it's generally considered one of the best off the album. Heartbreak on Antidepressants was the first song, really cool song. And then Whatever Gets You Through the Night has also been a very popular, it was his first sort of club dance pop song. The rest of it is mostly more sort of, synthy pop or sort of even hyper pop. Really more, it's much more electro forward album than a lot of his previous work. But yes, definitely take a look out for that and follow him, because it's really cool, his output, and it's all going to be finally into the package of an album within the next month or two. So
he's had quite a few songs out, and I have followed him ever since you showed me his music and videos. So I'm really looking forward to that. And also like Dynasty's album as well. There's a lot of new music coming. There's constantly new music, a constant influx of new music coming. But what I'm trying to do here as a curator is trying to pick those that I feel personally deserve more attention, and Don't Make This Weird is definitely among them. So we're gonna be hearing a little introductory song, I think that he just put out a few weeks ago, which is called Men, and it is quite interesting, an interesting perspective on a man who is queer and is in love with man, but does not recognize himself as one. So that's a really interesting take, and I feel like some of us can, like queer people, we can relate with the sort of not identifying with that. And then we're gonna be hearing a live performance of Don't Make This Weird, the song. So I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, thanks.
Men, I don't feel like one of them, but I want 'em. Lord knows I want 'em. Is it irony to worship gods I don't believe? To feel free when he's on top of me, leaving church with bruised knees. How'd I become a thing I don't understand? A man, I'm trying to be for myself a thing that I never had. I died.
Adam, take me in your spare bedroom, we're swapping atoms. The way he feels, he tastes like apples and venom. He left his mark on me. It's so sorry. And severance steel, don't make this weird. So what now, am I supposed to hold myself? You wanted me past it, but you know that I'm oceanic. So what now, am I supposed to hold myself? You left your mark on me. It's so surreal, the way this feels. A severance deal. Don't make this weird.
that was Don't Make This Weird by Don't Make This Weird. It's a fantastic production. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the direction that Alex is taking with this last few singles. And yeah, quite an energetic performance. I love seeing him perform. I haven't seen him live yet, but I have seen some performances. So thank you, Patch, for introducing him to me. And thank you, Alex, for letting me play this song, these couple songs, actually, because I love how Men like basically leads into Don't Make This Weird. It's a really nice touch, I feel. Mm-hmm. So next up, I have a very interesting exclusive, which is a music video of a song that has not come out yet. And it is one of my most anticipated album releases of next year. By my friend Benjamin Gibert, French producer and music artist who has just come back from Atacama in Chile, where he has shot this music video, first version of it, of his song Amanecer, which is, again, an excellent piece of work, glitchy, more pop than his previous output. And I would say, like, you can actually, like, usually he, as far as I've heard from his repertoire, it usually works with long instrumental electronic pieces mostly. This one is electronic, of course, but it has a lot of like field recordings and sounds from the places he's visited this year and before. Because as far as I can gather, this album has been a few years in the making. So here I have his first record called Taiwa. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, which I cannot recommend enough to all lovers of electronic ambient music with an edge, because there's a lot of like experimentation going on throughout it. So without further ado, let's watch the premiere of Benjamin Gibert, Amanecer, live for Organico.
Evaporándose literalmente, emitiendo una luz blanca. Las autoridades aún no han logrado esclarecer.
I wake up and light every piece of mind. Eat alone even through industrial cinema. Like a dusty cloud on a sandy road. Nowhere to begin the story. Letting go to the mountain, emerging into the horizon, into the horizon. Amanecer, amanecer, una grieta en el tiempo. Desvanecer, desvanecer, como arena en el cielo. Amanecer, amanecer.
Fue encontrado intacto pero desocupado, y no se halló rastro alguno del conductor. La investigación continúa desde el domingo.
So that was Amanecer by Benjamin Gibert, which has not come out yet, the song either. And I'm really looking forward to hearing the finished version and hopefully adding it to Organico, the playlist. So just in case there are people tuning in at this time, because I mean we've been going for 2 hours and almost a half. Organico is first and foremost a playlist / mixtape. I've addressed it in many different ways, and it started from like a few art playlists that I had made featuring independent artists that are either like among my circle of friends or have become my friends with time, and trying to connect and network with as many people as possible, especially, trying to make this my career eventually. So Organico, seeing as this is its first anniversary, has just received a massive update on Spotify for the time being, and all of the other platforms will follow alongside with new improved graphics. I just did not have the time to do that before the show because there was a lot of work to be done on like editing all of these clips. Well, not all of them, but a good chunk of them. And so, yeah, I'm really looking forward to adding this song because it's one of my favorites that I've heard this year. So, yeah, thank you, Benjamin. And next up, we have something quite interesting because this artist is really quite elusive, I would say. He says he's not from this planet, but somehow he is residing in Costa Rica, which I don't exactly blame on him. Like it's something that I would do if I had the chance. I would move there instantly. But yeah, that's where he's staying right now. But he says it's not from this planet. And I think this upcoming interview and performance kind of confirms it in a way. And he has a knack for 80s synthesizers. So any of you out there who love 80s music, now's your chance to rejoice, because we're about to watch Walter Allianson's Planeta V for Organico. Enjoy.
Allora, vai da te sarà Walter Allison, e te un di te vuole dire sulla Costa Rica. My gentlemen understand that taking the body store to the romantic duration, but I did mainly to the well. I'm a body the double string, then the modern Jagara Pinya, Japan, the Matipa Boya, my team, the potato, my Eleza. Channel Charlie or maybe grab me the taker and it's me online and then the taker on my option. And then someone I did on the in this did and they're plunging on me on a mother's tongue and an evolution unit. And when you're but it's only up at the door. C'è da body video e da body singole. Anche una verità è that anche un cazzo di cielo.
So that was Walter Allianson's Planeta V. Quite interesting piece of synthwave, groovy, really groovy. I enjoyed it a lot. And for those of you who missed it, Walter is also behind the very first song we heard tonight, Neon Lines, and he wrote it, as he said in the interview, and then Minute Taker added his lyrics and his exceptional voice on it. So it's a match made in heaven for me. It's one of my favorite songs since the pandemic started, because it came out in 2021, very early 2021. So it quickly became one of my favorites throughout these past few years. And yeah, so Patch, what do you think about the show so far? We're nearing like the latter segment of it.
I'm loving the variety. I mean, that was a nice kind of change of scenery.
Yeah, definitely.
That was very cool. Yeah, nice to see also something out of the box in that way, out of this
exactly.
earth.
I mean, there's obviously a certain humor to it as well. So I love that, despite the tough times, artists can take themselves a little bit less seriously, and at the same time deliver some high quality art and creativity, which I really admire. So thank you, Walter, for this performance. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, Organico, aside from the playlist side, I always thought I wanted to make an event like this one when I first started making Organico. Because it is actually not my first time doing something like this, but at the same time, it was a few years ago. I set up and curated this event for Imogen Heap called The Gloves Are Off, which is a pun on her own The Gloves Are On series of live streams that she did during the pandemic and during quarantine and isolation. So that was a show basically bringing together fans of Imogen Heap coming from different parts of the world, and everyone had a different craft to them. So it was not just music, it was focused on visual arts as well, and artisanal works as well. I remember some people brought up some really interesting like costumes, and it was 4 years ago, September 2020, and and I also danced in a blonde wig to Imogen singing about money, which is something I should probably be embarrassed about, but it's out in the wild now. So now that you know where to find it, I'm ruined forever. But anyway, jokes aside, I also wanted to mention this for a reason, and then we'll get back to the crowdfunding aspect of it, because that was one of the main components of that show. But just a little insight into the creation of The Gloves Are Off. There was an artist called Camille Mackey from I think from Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and she had wanted to perform in The Gloves Are Off in 2020, but she wanted to like do a collaboration with her brother at the time, and she had these amazing visuals. Like she did these artworks, very intricate pieces of artwork. But sadly, she passed away in late 2020, and we could not feature her in the show. And she was 29, so she was very young. Sadly, unfortunately, she was homeless, and COVID hit her. And yeah, so sadly that happened, and we couldn't have her as part of the show. So in a way, I also wanted to dedicate this show to her. And when I have the time and resources, because I need to get a hold of a few of those artworks in a higher quality, I want to make a little montage to honor her memory. I mean, she was my age, and it's just heartbreaking dealing with that kind of loss. And yeah, so this is, aside from the little personal dedication that I did before, this is also dedicated to Camille Mackey from the Imogen Heap Discord server. And so getting back on track on the crowdfunding aspect of it, Patch, were you around the times that Imogen was doing these crowdfundings? Do you remember any of it?
Yeah, I caught some of it, but like a lot of things in like the early mid-pandemic, it all feels like a blur,
Yeah, definitely.
But I do remember it was a great way to come together, and a lot of us who had been involved supporting Imogen and her nonprofit, and involved with her events and all the different things she's been innovating on. It was great to come together as a virtual community around the world. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was a tough time, and at the same time, we kind of had these moments to rejoice and be together and enjoy. And she was raising money for her nonprofit, the Creative Passport, which has now evolved into Oracles. And she did quite a long live stream on December. I think it was on a day of her birthday, so December 9, if I'm not 9.
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and it was a really long, it featured the premiere of her new music video called "What Have You Done to Me," which was absolutely mind blowing, and it has yet to be finished, so it will be released a little later on. And yeah, so Oracles for all the musicians in attendance tonight. I want to sort of recommend you go and take a look. It's quite a complex, multifaceted platform that allows musicians to connect effectively and verify each other in a way that other social media and other platforms don't really do. And it also lets you have control over your own rights and music, especially when it comes to generative AI. And you can opt in or out of consent, whether you want to make use of AI and let other people use your likeness and voice. And it's sort of revolutionary, and it obviously will require a lot of trial and error, and they will have to work through it. But it's a very ambitious initiative. So if those of you who are listening, I will just type out the name of the initiative and the new version of the Creative Passport if you want to check it out. And I love Imogen Heap. I asked her if she wanted to do a little pitch for it tonight, but she's a very busy person, so obviously she couldn't do it. She couldn't attend tonight, but hopefully in the future more people will come and join this platform, because it is amazing and it promises to be something quite unseen before. And up next, we have a couple songs, actually, by two different artists, actually 3 different artists. We've already heard Some Minute Taker at the beginning of the show. And we have another song with an artist called Brian Hazard, aka Color Theory, from California, USA. And he's an amazing producer, huge Depeche Mode fan. And you can definitely hear that in his music. They wrote a song together with Minute Taker, and it's actually they're up to 3 at this point. It's an ongoing collaboration. They put out an EP, and my favorite song is called Just an Echo, and you will hear an excerpt of it. And right after it, you will also hear another song by a friend of mine who goes by the moniker of A Charming Defense, from Chicago, and which is also collaboration with another producer. And there's an excellent song called Anniversary, which was my second most streamed song of the year. It came out last year, but I listened to quite a lot of it this year as well. So I hope you enjoy it. Just an Echo and Anniversary back to back.
It's just an echo, it's just an echo. The end of a shadow is the last stop on the road home. I know you're feeling broken inside, like there's a fog over everything in your life. But just give it time. I know you'll get through this. You're just caught in the after effects, but every wave will hit you with less violence. It's just the natural process, and you'll get through this. I know you're feeling like just giving up. You don't believe me, but you're strong enough. This pain won't last forever. Time will make it better. Don't you let go. Don't you let go. It hurts now, I know, but it's just an echo. It's just an echo. It's just an echo. The end of a shadow is the last stop on the road home. I know the pain is screaming so loud, but it gets quieter every time it comes around. Just let it play out, and you'll get through this. I know you're feeling like just giving up. You don't believe me, but you're strong enough.
A pure reminder, forceful, blinding, and shine. It's hard to find, so I deny and guard mine. But now you want it so bad. Go back in time, go back.
So that was Color Theory and Minute Taker first with Just an Echo, and then we heard A Charming Defense with Anniversary. I hope you guys liked it. And I see there's quite a few people still watching. Are you there? Just checking, because I mean, we still have around half an hour of content and then we will be done. So thank you for your patience. And I will just go and play another little bit of an artist that we already saw, Joe Hearty. He had recorded another song for us tonight, which is an unreleased song called Epiphany. He has played it live quite a few times, but there's no release quite yet. But yeah, he has a lot of new material coming and a lot of releases scheduled for the next year. So it's a short song that we'll hear right now exclusively for Organico, Joe Hearty with Epiphany. Enjoy.
Drinking it in just to get full again. A coral blue, the sky and you surrendering to the nothing to do. Epiphany, come to me, I'm ready to receive you. Burnt backs and knees, honeybees, layers of rock chart the centuries. Hope unchained, but eager to please. Paying for pleasure, pretending it's free. Epiphany, come to me, I am ready to receive. Your genie eyes, your genie your genie eyes, your latest commission of a swallow in flight. The long blank stare, the shadow at night, or the way that the world, it all seems tonight.
So that was Epiphany by Joe Hearty. And I see a couple of the artists that are have been featured tonight, or there's one that's coming up next. And grazie Francesca, thank you Cranìa for joining us tonight. And next up, we have an artist called Thea Riley, which was just commenting in the comment section just a few minutes ago. And she is a trance vocalist, so she has been mainly active in the dance music community. And she had a record out last year called Withstand, and another one coming next year called Neurogenesis. So we're gonna hear an excerpt from a song called 2 a.m. Tired Eyes, which is one of my favorite songs lately. Really, I've been playing it so much, especially the single version, but also most recently the album version. And she will tell you a bit about like the story of the song, which is it's kind of nice, hearing this sort of like backstories, how these songs came to be in the first place. And then there's another song called Heart to Heart, which is a little bit older, I think. And yeah, it's 2 acoustic versions that she recorded exclusively for Organico. So I hope you all enjoy.
Hi Marco, hi everybody, I'm Twaddle, a transgender trans vocalist making waves since 2015 in the trance world. Training wise, my mother was a certified classical music extraordinaire. She taught me music theory, some basic orchestration, and high level classical piano, which I don't really use these days. But sometimes I think maybe I'll go and practice or something, but I never do. And I didn't really study music besides that, because I was lucky enough when I really pushed against my mom. It was like, I wanted pop music. I was not wrong. Because I'm still doing it. But I had this mentor named Philip, and he basically knows everything. And he taught me kind of the basics of production. A lot of writing advice, production advice, mixing advice. We never really got to mastering. But I've kind of tried to learn that myself over the years, and inshallah, hopefully getting better at it. Because my next album will be coming out soon. I'm really pushing to have it be the best, even technically. That's kind of my history. It's ongoing. I'm still learning. Apart from doing little things by myself, like the Pledge Music campaign was successful somehow. Only like $2,000, like nothing huge. I just wanted to print CDs and ship them out. And I got to do that, so that was really cool. And I was 19. And it was under my previous name. I was very young, but it's hard to remember. The first actual contact was in like 2014 maybe, when I sang this song called First to Go for Giuseppe Ottaviani's Go On Air Records imprint that he owns, and he's a trance producer slash DJ touring the world usually. I generally have had a nice time, but also I've had some experiences which made me kind of get very wary of making sure I'm working with good people. I don't want to like put fear out there, but I would just say be very careful who you work with. My opinion is that the higher up you get in the music industry, potentially the more likely it is that you'll lose yourself as an artist. But that's just my opinion. Don't take that too heavily. And my experience too, your experience could be bad. A lot of years of insomnia, but that's sort of a lie because I originally wrote it about this guy in Canada, and I was dating him, and he kind of had a really bad self-care. It kind of ended up being this funny karma thing because I kind of sing it to myself these days. But I don't know, I think if it was my dad too, my granddad, he'd say things like, oh, I never fall asleep at night, I'll just lay there until the sun comes up. So it's for all of us, really. But I guess just how cold that Canada is kind of reflects in the middle lyrics. It's like colder nights now leave you lonely, like literally freezing ice outside. Wow. Turn Tired was an old song. It is a very old song from 2014. But yeah, it kind of inspired the themes of Withstand, which is I wanted to make an album that I needed to hear the lyrics of. So I wrote it for myself, just before I consciously decided to finish that album in that way.
trees empty, they need a change, but it slips you up. Don't believe there's a place leaving you quiet, when you ever make up your mind. Distractions are you're still holding on to regrets. You're too young, tired eyes, they need paid attention. I'm so tired of seeing you let every chance go by.
I'm pretty scattered when it comes to releases, but I know that what's in the headlights is that my song Nirvana is going to come out from my next album, which is called Neurogenesis. I'm very excited, but at the same time it's kind of different. This album is going to be different than the last one, which is a great thing. It has more pop punk influence, just more pop influence in general, trying to pay some tribute to my, dance music history, but at the same time, make it for real, fans of music and of like a good playlist, or following my Withstand albums, kind of speeding up slowly through each song. So it starts with the slowest one, finishes with the fastest one. I just want to get people's moods up, and that seems to be the way I'm deciding to do it. So it worked for the last one. It works for me when I listen to it. So I really hope that it works for everyone else as well. I'm very into the nerdery of it. But yeah, Nirvana, coming January. I prepared unique versions. The first one is Tui and Twaddle, the lullaby version, which was inspired by my album Sleepy Wolf, an album to fight insomnia, because I just want to help people with depression and insomnia with my music. The second song is called Heart to Heart, which is kind of a love song that I wrote for no one, because I needed to write a love song for an album. So, I don't know, I try and just kind of sing it to the world, and I think that's the right decision. But yeah, it's an acoustic version, albeit with some acoustic drums. They're very amped up. That's what I have. Songs I've chosen, from various points in time. It's just so nice to have an opportunity to make alternative versions. So thank you, Marco. My God, if we could do this all again next year, that would be very nice. I will be there. Thank you guys. I really hope you enjoy the show and what I have prepared. Thank you. Enjoy.
To be in love, to breathe the air. We can let go of we dreamed of this year. You don't talk in gossip, all you say is clear. Come when I'm happy, if I speak you hear. One for split in half. One for one, hard to find. Sentence of color from my breath down deep inside your lungs, taking in my here doesn't only start to get my head around it as my heart
Sunk into eyes, I'm swiping around, taken in the feeling of you beside me. Sunk into eyes, I'm swiping around, bar for bar, split in half, one for one, heart to heart, one for one, split in half, one for one, heart to heart, one for one, split in half, heart to heart.
Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoy the other artists of the night, because that's what I'm about to go and do as well. Peace, love, unity, and respect. That's from the dance music community. Yeah, so that's my scene. Anyway, guys, see you. Enjoy the show.
So that was Thea Riley with 2 AM Tired Eyes and Heart to Heart. I have to say, I know that Thea doesn't really perform live usually, so I kind of pushed her into doing this live set, despite her like catching a cold and having to, record in not optimal conditions. And I'm really proud of Thea for revisiting these like even older songs pre-transition and bringing her into this space, this context. So I'm really happy that she accepted my invitation and decided to perform tonight. So I'm very grateful. Thank you, Thea. And we are almost at the end of tonight's performance, tonight's show. And I can hear some of you screaming, finally. Because this has been going for 3 hours now. And the next artist is also someone that Patch here has worked with. So can you tell us something about the next artist?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so the next artist is Noah Malcolm. He's from Prince Edward Island in Canada. That's one of the eastern provinces. So provinces are not like province in Italy. They're more like states or in Germany or the US, and they're often big, really big here. But Prince Edward Island is kind of an exception. It's quite a small place by comparison, fairly small population, not a whole lot more than 150,000 in the whole province, but really beautiful, known for its red dirt and also for a lot of cultural importance, right? For music, for literature, Anne of Green Gables, which is a popular book that has been turned into movies and other spin-off series in television and stuff. It's based there. And it's a great place for tourism, especially in the summer. And has a lot of rich history from a lot of Scottish immigrants and Irish and French, etc. And really rich music culture. I had the privilege of actually going there for the East Coast Music Association Awards and Showcase that was there this spring. And I've gotten to know Noah the last few years. He's kind of a rising star in PEI in Prince Edward Island. He was the top nominee for Music PEI Awards, and he won a couple of them. He's got a couple more nominations for the ones coming up next year. And really developing a strong kind of foothold in the East Coast, as well as sometimes here in Toronto. He was here for several years. He's coming back to Ontario, my province, this winter. But he's got a lot of beautiful songs coming out. He writes sort of singer-songwriter, acoustic, kind of guitar plucky, emotional stuff, sometimes quite, beautiful ballads, emotive ballads. And then he also kind of switches over into some stuff that's a bit more up-tempo, more indie pop, a little more electro, sometimes still adding kind of the guitar pick in, but he's really a wonderful and funny guy as well. So really glad that he could do a version of his latest song, which is called Serial. But he's going to do a little intro to it himself. But here he is coming from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island.
Thank you, Patch. And it is indeed a lovely song that we're going to hear. And he is quite funny. I saw that video that he made, like a sort of spoof of TikTok dances trying to dance to Serial, which is not a song you would normally dance to.
Yeah.
It was really hilarious. So I know if you're watching or if you watch later on, and this is Serial live for Organico. Enjoy.
Yeah. Thanks.
Hey everyone, my name is Noah Malcolm and welcome to my little nook here in my apartment. Coming to you from Prince Edward Island on the east coast of Canada. Hello, wherever you're watching from, and thank you to Organico for inviting me to share a song with you all. I am a singer-songwriter and I want to play a song I released just a couple months ago, but I wrote it years ago, kind of revisiting my first love experience, which was also kind of tangled up with my coming out experience as well. So there's a lot to this song, and it's special to me, but ultimately that whole time in my life now it's a positive, warm memory because love is special. So this song is called Serial.
You still come into my head. I remember you still leaving those cereal bowls at the head of your bed, and you drove me up the wall. But anytime I'd follow you right there, right there. We had a lot to learn. Gotta build the bridge before you burn it. But with your love I didn't have to earn it, and that's what I love most of all. I was having trouble at home, so we made one of our own. And you still come into my head. I remember you still leaving those cereal bowls at the head of your bed, and it drove me up the wall. But anytime I follow you right there, right there, you still come into my head. Oh, things were mostly great. Waiting outside when my work ran late, and you were trying to find some direction. I was a salt on a bad infection, but then I met your family. They were so nice to me, so nice to me, yeah. Oh. And you still come into my head. You were like a meteor falling in the sky, blazing in the night, burning in my mind, blowing smoke cause you had to, but I loved you. Oh, and you still come into my head. I remember you still leaving those cereal bowls at the head of your bed, and it drove me up the wall. But anytime I'd fall, you were right there, right there. Oh, and you still into my head. You still come into my head. Da 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 da.
Quite a lovely song. Serial by Noah Malcolm. Very sweet, sort of like bittersweet in a way. And thank you, Patch, for introducing me to Noah. I have added Serial to the next Organico expansion. And thank you, Noah, for filming this for us. So just for those of you who are still here, I want to say all of these guest artists are performing voluntarily. So I obviously had a budget for all of the artists that I had invited at first. Like the very first few that you saw announced on my social media were the ones that, you know, kind of went into the budget, like in consideration for that. So all of these artists are doing these performances, you know, just to out of love for music and the chance of like networking maybe with some like-minded people and hopefully other artists whom they can hopefully collaborate with in the future. Who knows? Like, there's a lot of opportunities probably out there that we are not aware about. So I'm really grateful to all of these artists, those who performed with like a set budget and those who didn't. And ideally I would pay everyone, but this is just the reality of it, is that getting people to understand, to have the idea that music is not free to make, and it's labor, it's work that needs to be remunerated, you know, fairly. It's a tough job, especially, you know, with Spotify being free for all, and like music subscription in general. It's not just Spotify. Music subscriptions cost very little compared to what we used to pay for an individual CD, and then we just have that one CD, and now we pay $10 and we get everything we can ever think of. So it's a problem, obviously. And what I'm doing here, what I'm attempting to do, is trying to give these artists a little bit of a boost, even if it's just, you know, because as I said, there's many out there who need to take on multiple jobs just in order to keep their music going. And I think judging from what we saw tonight, there's a need for this kind of artistic expression still. It's not just the major artists that are like doing fairly well on their own, but it cannot be just that, if you get what I mean. So we have one last performance to close off tonight's event. So a few thank yous are in order, and I already said thank you to all of the artists, of course. I wanted to say thank you again to Patch Twaddle for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for co-hosting this with me. And it was a pleasure to have you, and I'm glad to have you as a friend, and I feel that I could count on you for this event. And thank you to all of you who are still watching. Thank to those of you who came by just to say hi and to watch just a tiny bit of this ambitious show, which is now over 3 hours long. So what are you doing still there? No, I'm kidding. Please stay for this one last performance, which is by a friend of mine who actually edited the performance on his own. So we have a little bit of a Christmassy vibe going on with it. He's my friend Sacha Bernasson from France, with Elise Esther, which is a harpist also from France. And my friend Sacha is from Toulouse, and he's a singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and producer. He does so many things, and he's written so many songs, so many albums out there. And I just happened to have this cassette version of his latest release project called Make It Real. It's from a few years ago, but then he has a new one coming soon, and we get to hear a couple of those songs in in a very like acousticy and sort of Christmassy setting tonight as an exclusive little mini concert that he and Elise held in this little town called Corps-sur-Ciel. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I butchered it. Any French-speaking people in the audience. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. I will probably have a few high-quality videos from this performance up on my channel eventually. And all of the artists who performed tonight or had something exclusive for tonight will be uploading their performances later on. Just one last reminder for those of you still here, there's a link to the GoFundMe for the show in the video description of this stream, and there you will find like a little bit of you will find the trailer that I made and also a few things that I wrote to explain what I'm trying to do, in case you weren't bored of hearing me babble about it. But yeah, thank you so much, and wherever you are, lots of love. I hope you have nice festivities whichever you celebrate. And yeah, here we have Sacha Bernard-Son and Elise Ester with two exclusive songs for Organico. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Sorry, here we go with Before and Now and Tremors by Sacha Bernard-Son and Elise Ester. Bye-bye.
Hi, it's Sacha Bernard-Son and Elise Ester. Welcome to our Christmas mini concert for Organico, a live stream event. Thanks, Marco, for the warm invitation. Enjoy!
Isolated in the mountain dells, pressed in as if it fell from the sky. I'm weary of overflowing glass and blame and fucking
it steers me. There are too many of us in this room. Guess they think from between their lips we are doomed. Before and now, it feels like before. Sees now, and sweetly outlined, lurking for the cosmic sign. Oh, why it moves me so. I can't do shit if it moves me so. I should stay behind. Please, I begin. Let me stay behind. I can play a game if anyone plays a different game. I can play a game if anyone wants to kill the game. I can play a game if anyone wants to kill the game. I can play a game if anyone plays a different game. Covered up by the sky, sitting down on a wave, vestige of the cloud, smell of perspiration. I'm loose all my love
jetzt nicht